My fish fam, it's Nikachu Merfolk Master. We're back to Legacy Merfolk. Within a month, I got to play at the NRG series and their Legacy event, so I got to have a nice, spicy Soul Land Merfolk list ready. Okay, I want to try out Trinisphere in the main deck. Just have more means of doing things with our Soul Lands, both Ancient Tomb and City of Traders, because in addition to Chalice of the Void on one, really chewing up basically most of the Delver decks or the Delver-esque decks, I think Trinisphere would also be a huge bomb. I mean, just think of the Corey Steelcutter decks where they need to play two spells in one turn. That is like never happening. They can get one spell off, but they're never going to get the second spell off. So Trinisphere looks like just a, almost, maybe not KO, but pretty close to it, shutting off their Force of Will and Daze. At the same time, it's going to shut off our Force of Will, but hopefully it shuts off them more than it shuts off us. Now, I've added, I think, a few more lands. We're up to like 22-ish sources of mana. I am playing with Lorien Revealed now, just as a means of getting rid of something with Force of Will. So this will be a less painful, because we were once playing with Sink into Stupor, and I think that's just way too painful. Lorien Revealed will pretty reliably, I think, go find a land, and then with that land, we can just play an island to make us immune to Wasteland and so on. Although I think this build is going to be a little bit more weaker to Wasteland. I only have basically 8 sources of basics, the 5 basic lands and the 3 Lorien Revealeds. But it'll give us something to do when we have a lot of mana and we have nothing else to do with it. And again, Force of Will, just being we can pitch Lorien Revealed to Force of Will. We can't pitch our basic lands, unfortunately, to Force of Will. And I think I removed some consign to memories in the sideboard because they sort of seem pretty useless in this meta game, or maybe not completely useless. Like maybe it's fine versus Oops All Spells, but I think we have enough stuff versus Oops All Spells. I got a lot of stuff here. It looks like good stuff. All right, let's see if Soul Land Merfolk can do it this time. We lost the die roll. Our hand is like fine on the draw. I'll keep it. I'm not super thrilled with it. City of Traders on the draw. Guide of Souls. Guide of Souls? What does this mean? Okay, well, that's aggressive. I'm going to counter that. That's too evil for me. Way too evil. I don't even know what this deck is, but it's probably some aggro deck, and frankly, that's the payoff. The turn 1 payoff. If it's as evil as it is in Modern, I would 100 snap Force of Will that thing. Easiest snap off in the world. Probably turn 2 I'll go we'll go City of Traders, Mirror Regery, because if it lives, I can play Silvergill Adept and Flood Pit's Drowner off of our City of Traders and Island mana. Plateau. Wow, this is just energy. Legacy energy. Maybe that's the card I'm supposed to Force of Will. To be told, I have no idea what to expect here. Nothing, not a zip. What's the red permanent in this deck? Playing with all the old OG dual lands. Otawara, huh? Okay, well, hope you don't have removal. If there is removal, I mean, we can still play our Silvergill Adept and Flood Pit's Drowner next turn. It will cost us our City of Traders, though. Should clarify, you know what? It's not clear to me that I have to run this out like this. I could still just play Flood Pit's Drowner, right? Like, that's not that big of a deal. Brainstorm. Jeskai. I mean, yeah, they played the Tundra. I should have expected it. Are they playing with, like, Daze and Force of Will? Okay, no Daze. Probably no Force of Will here. No land. Amped Raptor. It's a card that's not a Goblin Bombardment. Oh, they can play it too. Well, you're going to have to sack 2 creatures. Well, maybe they want to. So they can sack the cat at me, flip the Ajani, and then deal 2 damage to the Mare with their Ajani Planeswalker. That would work. So they deal 2 damage, they can sack the cat, flip Ajani. There's 2 creatures in play. Ajani will kill my Mare. It looks like that's the line they're going for. It's a smidge more mana than I would like to see, that's for sure. Oops, hold on. Undo. Cancel. I'm not casting. Am I just... What's going on here? I keep casting this for the wrong thing. Okay, cast additional cost, play Merfolk. This Merfolk. Lorien revealed. I don't need that right now. I should probably just resign. This is a pretty poor game at the moment. I guess, yeah, we'll hit the Amped Raptor. Amped Raptor's got first strike. Another Brainstorm. This might be a little tough cookie to beat, given that they're going to have a good distribution of 2-drops and 1-drops. I mean, we at least see Amped Raptor, but they're probably still going to have a lot of 1-drops, right? A lot of 1-drops. One thing is, I don't think Amped Raptor can, like, miss in Legacy if there's no 3-drops in the deck. So the 2-drops are probably Amped Raptor, Ajani, and Goblin Bombardment. Also, Transfer probably is still going to be good here. Okay, we can concede. I've seen enough. I see enough. It looks good. It's fine. Good for you. Okay, bring in Dismember. Take out... Probably I should keep Force of Will. Or maybe not. What else would I get rid of here? Okay, Mind Spring is not the greatest. Heck, actually, I can't remove any creatures. I have 24 creatures in this deck. I cannot remove anything. So if I'm bringing in Interaction, I have to take out Interaction. So I'm bringing in Dismember, I have to take out Force of Will. I could take out Force of Will for a... Grafdigger's Cage does nothing. Or maybe not nothing. Players can't cast spells. I can't remember what Amped Raptor does. I think it plays the card from exile. Force of Negation's not that important. Maybe just 1 Force of Will is fine. I could bring in a Wasteland, because they are pretty mana-intensive deck. Okay, now that we know what we're going for, or what we're up against, we know what to play for here. This hand looks reasonable. Okay, we're going to keep. It's a bit of a gamble, but it should be fine. We do have turn 2 Trinisphere set up. Turn 1 Chalice of the Void, turn 2 Trinisphere. Oh, is this where they force us? This has got to be an awkward deck to have Force of Will in, because it has so many like pure white and red cards. Like most Force of Will decks, like Delver, the creatures are blue. Okay, now that being said, I don't have any way of winning this game at this moment. I do, in fact, not. We found one way of winning this game. Okay, Tashawn's Tidebinder, that is good. It actually. So what we can do is we're gonna go City of Traders. And then we can go. Well, I better not waste this mana because we can go Lorien Revealed, Island Cycle, go get an island, and then next turn we can play Tashanda's Tidebinder. And then with City of Traders on the stack, we will play Tashanda's Tidebinder and save our City of Traders from complete decimation. Now, alternatively, I really wanted Tashanda's Tidebinder one of these fetch lands. That sounds good too. Sounds good too. But probably it's not necessary. So what are they going to do? They can't even play a 1-drop, actually. They can play a 2-drop next turn. If I play the island and lose the City of Traders for nothing, that's not beautiful. Okay. Let's just play this game the way I know how to play it. And we'll counter our City of Traders. So we get to keep the City of Traders on the battlefield and our island. And I can just pass. So they have a 3rd land, so now they can play a 2-drop. Which they have many of. Yeah, that's right. You need all them fetch lands. Okay, there's a Johnny. It's not over just yet. Okay, hold on. Actually, do I want to crack this Lorien Revealed? Doesn't get me anything. If I get another blue source, I can use this Lorien Revealed. Oh, there we go. See? I draw a bunch of cards. What is the cards going to do for me here? Or I can attack. What does this thing do? I could attack. They block with a cat. We flash in Hexcatcher. Cat dies. A Johnny flips. But then there's like nothing in play. What is the follow-up? Another Ajani, but then there's no red permanent in play for it to do anything. What does the backside of it do? It's 0 crit a 2/1 Cat Warrior token. I hate that Cat Warrior token. Okay, I think I gotta set up a much bigger turn next turn. We're going to float this mana. We're gonna lose our City of Traders. And I'm just gonna play Lorien Revealed, because otherwise I'm just playing the Hexcatcher, and I don't think that's a really big turn. It's not a turn I'm really proud of. So we're going to draw 3 cards. We'll be able to play Hexcatcher next turn anyway. Dismember is not bad. Okay, I like that. Let's dismember a Johnny. Going further down on life. Oh, I can't. The Trinisphere. The Trinisphere works both ways. I guess I'm just passing the turn. Gotta know that. This is my first game with Trinisphere. Now, what's important is that because we have Mare Regery in the deck, if we play a Merfolk and then tap Trinisphere at like the end of our opponent's turn, then we can actually just ignore Trinisphere for an entire turn. I won't block the cat token. What's next? Ampteraptor? I wonder, do they have even 6 lands in their deck to go get? They can't, remember, they can't play 1-drops. And their 2-drops cost 3 mana. Okay, there's Amped Raptor. So whatever they get with the energy, it's just gonna be toast. Oh no, they can't play Amped Raptor again. They need to pay 3 mana for this thing. So this is awkward. I think I'm just gonna pass. The Vidalian Hexcatcher. And really hope our opponent doesn't have Force of Will in their deck. Ancient Tomb is bleeding, making me bleed. They might have days, but I can pay for it. So the whole idea is they're attacking for 3, but... Sorry, they're attacking for 2, but the Tasha's Tidebinder can block. We'll block the Amped Raptor. And I'm not afraid of Swords to Plowshares, Pyroblast, because Chalice of the Void will counter it. And of course we're blocking the Amped Raptor because that's the red permanent. Yeah, it gets countered. Can't tell if my opponent forgot about that or not. It's a very unusual board state, I have to admit. It's a very, very unusual board state. Okay, now we've got Flood Pit's Drowner. Let's attack for 4, I guess. The real combo is to have Ether Vial first and then do all these shenanigans later. Maybe I shouldn't do anything. If they play Goblin Bombardment, that would be awful. That would be just stone cold terrible. I should probably take 2 damage and then wait past the turn. Yeah, we'll just do that. They'll attack me for 2. That's fine. I think I'm just going to take the 2, go to 4. And then end of turn, I will Flood Pit's Drowner, the cat token. And then attack with our usual suspects over here. Force of Will online, because I have 3 mana up. I have to be careful. This Ancient Tomb is eating me up. Eating me alive. Mockingbird to copy a Johnny, get it sacrificed. That's funny. It's gonna the old one gets oh no, but then the new one flips. Okay, so one's gonna die. The other one flips. It's gonna make a token, which puts 2 tokens on the battlefield. I can tap 1 down with Flood Pit's Drowner. It's a nasty card. Played for 2. How much loyalty is on the back? Flood Pits will... So there's going to be 3 tokens on the battlefield overall. I think this is just worth too much of a hassle. Oops, undo. Get rid of our Mindspring Merfolk. Another ancient tomb. These are not useful to me right now. Okay, let's attack for 4. They know I have a dismember in my hand. Can I do this? No, maybe I can't. Maybe no. Yeah, I can do this. I can do this. I still die to I guess I don't die to Goblin Bombardment. Technically. Okay. Beginning of combat. Let's tap one of yous down. And when it uses is going to be a cat warrior token. Oh no! What is this going to do now? Okay, well, I can't do anything about this. Oh! Interesting. Do I lose from here? Was I too aggressive with my life total? I'm going after Flood Pit's Drowner, so I have 2 blockers. These draws are not very generous. You know, there's a point where I want to draw some creatures. And I'm not drawing those creatures. Alright, we are on chump blocking duty. Those damn mockingbirds. Getting through my chalice and my trinosphere. We're getting through the chalice. Oh, it is flying! I die. Alright, good games. Maybe things could be different if I hold up my Tashanda's Tidebinder for as long as my opponent has fetch lands out, but maybe not. I really don't mind how I played this, but we're lacking, like, spells to play. There's just a bunch of air on top of our deck. And, well, it's not that bad. It could have been worse. Okay, anyway, that was round 1. Let's move on to round 2. We won the die roll. I have no idea where we're up against, but I'm going to keep this. I'm going to start off with Island and, whoops, no, undo, and pass. Just in case we're up against a Wasteland deck. It's very nice to have at least a land in play the entire time. Ooh, Urza Saga, turn 1. Not messing around here. So, we need Tashana's Tiebiter ready for the following turn. Okay, let's just play Cavern of Souls, Merfolk. Cast Silver Gill Adept. And play another one? Well, maybe I could have played City of Traders, Mare Regery. What's wrong with that? And we would have a relatively big turn the following turn. So anyway, my plan is to just hit this thing on... oh. Okay. Trinosphere. Probably not looking that great here. Okay, so they're gonna make... No, they can't... Okay, this Mox Opal will help. Okay, Ancient Tomb... Where are they gonna get off this Urza Saga? So you can make something twice. Does Trinosphere help versus this deck? Maybe? Just trying to figure out how to use my Tashana's Tidebinder here. Or even if I want to at all. But I have a feeling our opponent's like just going off next turn. Whereas if I go Trinosphere into Mare Regery, then we have to just deal with a bunch of construct tokens. So they're going to make a token. This thing triggers. They're going to make another token. I'm just gonna prevent. I guess I'm just gonna prevent the search. Hold on, let's say I attack. It's gonna be a 2-part. Okay, I can attack. For the record, I do have some regrets I don't play this Mare Regery on turn 1, because this would have set up a much bigger turn than I have right now. Okay, so this is going to make a Saga token. Sure. Let's see how they want to react here. Okay, they're just going to float mana instead of activating the ability. Oh, they're going to activate the ability again. Sure. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think I have reasonable chances to interact with this these construct tokens. Ugh, okay, my opponent's stack is above my stack, which is annoying. Or sorry, right underneath it. Thing is, between Mare Regery and the Flood Pits Drowners, I don't think I'm particularly worried about these constructs. And our opponent decides to do nothing. Okay, let's get Regery in play. I hope it doesn't get eaten up by something. Oh, actually, you know, let's cancel. Let's not put Regery in play. I can play 2 spells next turn. So why don't we do that? Because I can play a combination of Vidalian Hexcatcher and Flood Pits Drowner. And then when I get one more land, maybe we could play Regery. Karn. The greatest of creators. And what are you going to do? Get Mycosynth Lattice or something? Okay, sure. Okay, they can go get an artifact. If it ends up being like, I don't know, Mycosynth Lattice, maybe we can win? Can I do 14 damage? Because I have a Lord. Lion's Eye Diamond. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good. Okay, Lion's Eye Diamond resolves. They got Lion's Eye Diamond. What did they do that for? Hold on, let's undo. What are you doing with this mana? Okay, hold on. What's more important to resolve? Okay, let's start with this thing. Flood Pits Drowner. Tap down a construct. Maybe I just go for the other one? If I don't draw a land, I have to attack through this construct. How much damage am I dealing next turn? If I play this creature, this will be 3, 6, 9, 13. I'm short 1 mana. If I draw a land, I win. If I don't, I can kill Karn. Seems fair. Also, if I put my opponent down to 1, maybe that helps, but maybe not. Land? Not a land. Looks very good, though. Maybe I'm not going to play anything now. Okay, we'll just attack for 6. Attack 6, kill Karn. Is this a paradoxal outcome deck? Of some sorts? So I have Tishana's Tidebinder and a Hexcatcher up. Cavern of Souls to make a human uncounterable. Alright, this must be some hell of a human. It's gonna be the best human of all time. Return target artifact card with mana value 1 or less from your graveyard to your hand. Oh, is that gonna be the Lion's Eye Diamond? Okay, so I can Tishana's Tidebinder that. Huh, interesting. They have Walking Ballista. How many times can they activate this? Not that many times. You get Lion's Eye Diamond. They can go get Walking Bliss after that. I have no idea what they do with it after that, though. Okay. Let's deal with this Oriok thing. They can activate it a few more times, though. Okay, yeah, you bring it back. That's fine. But yeah, I mean, you don't get to play it anymore after that, though. And we all know at home that I have 2 lords in my hand, and that is more than good enough. What is this? Okay, Blist on 1, sure. Does nothing, as far as I can tell. Let's go in for the kill. Because they can only block 2 creatures. Even if Ballista sacrificed itself, it was worthless. Cool. Okay, cards are going to be good. Null Rod is going to be great in this matchup. Is Chalice any good? Hit some 0 drops. That's about it. Okay, Force of Negation should be good. Okay, probably Trinisphere is not good. I don't think it's good. Maybe it's good? Stops the loop that they're trying to assemble over there. Am I even afraid of that? Like, is that even a problem? So it's interesting with the Flood Pits Drowner, we didn't even care about Urza Saga. I mean, it almost went complete ham. And it just didn't matter. I didn't even need Wasteland. Usually Urza Saga is a huge problem. I need Tide Shaper, I need Wasteland. Tide Shaper borderline doesn't work anymore. Do I need Chalice? I think on the play, maybe Chalice on 0 does something. On the draw, it very likely does nothing. Or it does very poor things. I honestly, I think we just have to see how the deck plays out. Maybe it plays differently. Bring in 1 Wasteland. But no, I can't tell. Because it's like a big mana deck, right? Oh, no. Hold on. They have Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay, so we can have 2. They have Lion's Eye Diamond. They have Mox Opal. But even the Lion's Eye Diamond is fine. They might even sandbag that card for a little while. Take out... Oh, Ether Vial. Actually, we have to take out a few Ether Vials. Okay, bring in a Wasteland. Because we're bringing... When you bring in Null Rod, you should side out a few Ether Vials. Hand's okay. Not fist pumping. Not super disappointed. Null Rod is great, unless our opponent has turn 1 Urza Saga. Oh, there it is. We did get to draw an Ancient Tomb. Yeah, let's just play it. Just in case artifact mana is really important to their turn 2 play. We might have to battle these constructs again. You make a construct. I draw nothing useful. But remember, they can't draw anything useful with their Urza Saga. Like, even if they get Shadow Spear, it does nothing because Null Rod nullifies it. The only thing it does do, though, is it buffs up the construct tokens. really surprised that they didn't make a construct there. Like, isn't that your main plan? Shouldn't that be your, like, main plan at this point? And there's Lion's Eye Diamond. Also just does nothing. Here comes the human, I suppose. So there's some big loop here. Oh, this is different. When you cast the spell, if you cast another spell this turn, copy it. Flying and lifelink. Neat. Okay, so I can counter the copy, which we will do. So it looks very frustrating to deal with. Get hit for 3. We're probably gonna have to play a Mind Spring Merfolk and then buff up the team over the next few turns. Actually, we can also Otawara this thing. Maybe that's the best thing we should do this turn. And then on the following turn, I'll play Mind Spring. Yeah, and then the Mind Spring will be for even more damage. I mean, not for more cards. What a weird deck. We're up against just a bunch of weird decks this league. Okay, maybe this deck is just not what I think it is. It's a human deck of some sort. It's a human artifacts are us. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Rats. Can you tap it for mana? No, the answer is no. I'll play Mind Spring and City of Traders. Probably get hit for, what is this, 5? Ugh, I'm in a lot of trouble. We're probably gonna lose this game. To me, I gotta bring in Dismember in this matchup? I gotta bring in Dismember? What the hell is this now? Aerith Gainsborough. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on this thing. Whenever it dies, put X +1/+1 counters on each legendary creature you control. Okay, this is nothing. We just did not see the real deck in game 1. Now we see the real deck. It's interesting. Urza's tapping these artifacts, not the artifacts tapping these artifacts. Okay, let's just let's not concede. Let's look at a few more things that we can learn from this deck. Okay, hit for 6. Let's just chump block this. So I can maybe draw a boatload of cards with my Mind Spring Merfolk. Well, that's a nice card. No, I'm just going to concede. Okay, game 3. Maybe this is a Wasteland matchup. They've got a lot of clunky cards. Chalice is still good. In fact, Chalice might be better than Nullrod here. Just to play it on 0. Dismember is way better than, say, Force of Will. Force of Will actually is not very good. Maybe we'll have one more Nullrod in the deck anyway. Oh no, I don't need anything. We're at 60 cards. That's fine. Grafting Goose Cage, is this good? Nullrod. Okay, that's fine. Let's go. Like, this hand's not that good. I'm gonna mulligan. I mean, it's a curve. It's a curve that doesn't really go anywhere. Oh, did I keep... Okay, I made a mistake. I should have sided out 2 Force Negations. Now I have Force Negation in my deck, and it only counters, like, probably just Karn the Great Creator and nothing else. If I had turned to Redread like this, but this hand's a little too poor. This hand is fine-ish. I mean, I think I have to keep it. I'll keep it and dump the Cavernous Souls. I have blue. What do I call this? Yeah, we're done here. I need to keep the blue so I can just hard cast this force negation if necessary. Oh, City of Traders. Lotus Petal. Sure. Gonna ramp out Urza or something? If you cast another spell this turn, copy it. Oh, I'm gonna die to this thing. Damn. Okay. Up against this life-linking monstrosity. City of Traders next turn to play more nonsense, but I have to deal with your nonsense right now. Okay. Island and pass. And I think we have to Flood Pits one of these things. This is a sneaky card. Walking Blist on 1, sure. Okay, so I guess you can kill off my Flood Pit Strander, which you do. I get a Reejerey, which is something I could have used last turn. Oops, okay, cancel. Play my Reejerey. So you had Lotus Petal as well? So what that means is maybe I should have kept my Null Rods in. Yeah, okay. I just don't. I'm going to lose this game. I'm going to lose this match because I've just never seen this deck before. I've never heard of this deck ever. I don't know if it's a new deck. Or opponent's just brewing like we are. This is sort of okay. Attack for 2. Because we can use this to, like, bounce the Sage. Another uncounterable creature. When Boromir enters or attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library and reveal a human or artifact. Okay, so it's going to enter the battlefield, but we'll counter with Tishana's Tidebinder. Oh, I get to untap something. Sorry, I get to tap or untap something. So we'll hit... the original. Cool. Totally forgot about that. That was a pretty decent draw. Okay, so I can deal with both of these tokens now. What, this is just a 3/4? Or maybe I want to deal with this, attack for 6. I can bounce the token, kill this thing. It seems almost reasonable. Problem is, there's still more cards coming. Okay, whatever. Yeah, let's be aggressive here. I will play our Wasteland. We lose this card. We'll play Otawara on the copy. Attack for 6. So they gain 2, but they also lose 2 from their Ancient Tomb. Well, unfortunately, we're down to 1 card. Our opponent is up to many cards. Playing Urza Saga, we're straight into a Wasteland, which also probably is not good news for us. Another Boromir here hits the battlefield. Reveals Auriok Salvagers. Whatever the hell that is. Oh, that's the thing that brings the artifacts back from the graveyard. Okay. Okay, we have to get rid of Urza Saga. This costs 4 mana. Sure. It's a 2/4. Sure. Can only bring back Walking Ballista and Lotus Petal. Okay, I think I have to pass. Well, I could bluff an attack with Tishana's Tidebinder. Sure, why don't we do that? Yeah, I don't think they wanted to block anyway. Because if we have Hexcatcher, it'd really screw them. Okay, so we have with Flood Pit Drowner, we can play this. We can tap down the Boromir again. And then the Sage of the Skies will really get tapped down. Stun it with our Flood Pit Drowner. Then this thing comes out, but it's a pretty bad blocker. Another Urza Saga. Okay, Aerith. What does this do? Again, it has lifelink. Ugh, I'm a mana short now. Lifelink, when you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on this thing. When it dies, put X counters on something else. And I guess we're just passing. Urza Saga might take over the game from here, though. Oh, when it attacks, too? Ugh. This is rough. This is very rough. Okay, Lion's Eye Diamond has been found. We're up against a much better Soul Land Merfolk deck. A much better Soul Land Merfolk deck. Alright. Is this infinite now? Because they just bring it back. They have infinite mana and they can Walking Ballista me. Alright. Good games. Damn. Have we won a game yet? I don't know, have we? Oh no, yeah, we did win 1 game. All right, so let's try to win another one. That was round 2. Let's move on to round 3. Round 3, we lost the die roll, but our hand is very good. I'm going to keep it. We go turn 1, Aether Vial into turn 2, City of Traders. So, oh, we might be actually up. We might be up against an actual tier deck this time. We actually might be up against a tier deck, which is what we're looking forward to. Island, Aether Vial. Let's see if this does it get dazed. If it gets dazed, that's fine. We do have the cavern. We do have a Cavern of Souls. Don't really feel like fighting it. They get another Undercity Sewers. And another one. Probably I should start with Mindspring Merfolk, to be honest. Because I might need my Flood Pit Strandor for something else later on. If a Bowmasters is played, I'll probably just Force a Will it. It's that dangerous. Another, ooh, Tameo. Is that worth countering? It's annoying. Well, it's not worth countering. Well, let's attack for one. A useless one. Oh, they saw it coming. Okay, Ancient Tomb and pass. You want to entomb something? Is Reanimate still in this format? I suppose so. Okay, Entomb resolves. What do they get these days? Oh, Archon of Cruelty? That's pretty cruel. So Archon can come back. I can Tishana's Tidebinder that. But then there's a big 6/6 creature on the battlefield, and that's very, very, very rude. Very rude, in fact. Perhaps the rudest. Okay, if this attacks, we'll just kill it. By kill it, I mean we'll counter the ability. It will lose flying, and then we'll block it. I need a blue. I need a blue source for our Mindspring Merfolk. We will attack. Hopefully there's not that many Reanimates left in that deck. I guess it wouldn't be even the end of the world if it even resolves, because I could afford it. I can easily afford it resolving. I'm going to keep playing lands from my hand so that Mindspring Merfolk will be quite stocked up when we find if we find our second blue source. Okay, new Tameo. Maybe Brainstorm or something. Oh no, this is going to be Murktide. They're probably going to leave Archon and Entomb in the graveyard so that Tameo can go get it later. Oh no, it does not leave Entomb. I find that a bit strange. Because if Tameo flips, you can just go get Entomb and then try to do that thing all over again. We will tap down the Murktide, potentially shuffle it back into our opponent's deck. We will attack with everything. And given the board state, I think I have to put this Murktide back into our opponent's deck. Oh wow, they're blocking. What the hell's up with that? Okay, I'm gonna bet, based on my luck, that the very next card is an island or a Lorien revealed. That is just how magic works sometimes. And today has not been a very good day. Today has not been a good day. Trinosphere. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Got to force a will for that. I mean, I'm vulnerable. If they find, like, reanimate, it's going to really suck. Oh, they're just going to go entomb again. Entombs for days. And pass. Alright. Let's do the old pass it back and forth game. Kept a card on top, which means... Well, I mean, it might be fine for me. Like, if it's Ponder or Brainstorm, I bet they would still leave it on top. Cannot hardcast this card. Okay, pass. I can't attack into these creatures. They'll kill me. They'll kill me. Hexcatcher's not bad. It's not great either, though. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna pass. My problem is if they have removal, they could block and kill my Hexcatcher. I'd rather they sort of make a play like Ponder or something. And I can double spell in a turn, my opponent can't. This is sort of fine. Oops, undo. And also I have Force of Will with a blue card. Like, I could be wrong, but I think I have a little bit more opportunity to pass back and forth than my opponent does. Sure. See, if I played my Hexcatcher, I would be screwed. Screwed, I tell you. I think, I'm not 100% certain, I think I have to make a stand here. I'm going to take 2. No, I don't have to do anything. Actually, I can attack back because them blocking with their 2 Bowmasters isn't great. That's not a great block. Sure. I have to take 2 damage. So be it. Opponent's paralyzed. They can't do anything. I did this because if I draw an island or learn revealed, then I can hardcast Force of Will. Okay, well apparently I don't need to hardcast Force of Will anymore. What do they do with the Ponder, actually? Oh, they shuffled. So they did not exactly find what they wanted. Well, now, do they have 6 mana? I don't know what the standard... I think they have 6 mana. They have probably 4 Underground Seas, a swamp, and an island. Maybe. I don't know. Because the Undercity Sewers are also something. Okay, there's a swamp. Definitely no. Okay, let's pay the 3 mana. Get rid of my other Force of Will here. Assuming our opponent just has a blank in hand. Draw me anything. That is something. That is something acceptable. And we'll attack. Not going to attack with a Hex Catcher because they'll block with the Orc Army probably. This gang block is not going to work. I have to block with everything. That was a mistake. I should have put 2 damage. Sorry, I should have put extra damage on the token, just in case my opponent plays a another Bowmasters in response. Since I can die at any moment, I'm just going to attack with everything. Well, where were you a million turns ago? I think I only get blown out by another Bowmasters, which at the moment does not exist. So now we'll be storing the Lorien Revealed in our hand until we can find a blue card. I mean an island, or another Lorien Revealed. Okay, we won a game. Can we win a match? I am playing to beat this deck. Like, that's the whole idea. That's the plan. Okay, we're going to want Dismembers. Not really a fan of Force of Will, especially since we're going to be playing with Trinisphere. But maybe I need to keep some. Oh no, Grafdigger's Cage is fine-ish. I'll take out some Ether Vials. Or maybe I keep some Ether Vial. Maybe I bring in 2 cages. Problem is I'm also playing Chalice on 1, so these are a bit of a non-bow. Or maybe I take out some Mind Springs to compensate for Grafdigger's Cage. Maybe that's okay. How many blue sources do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then Lorien Revealed. I could take out more Ether Vial for some Wastelands. Yeah, I think that's okay. Not 100% sure it's okay. I think it's okay. Could be just dead wrong here. Hand is very colorless. Opponent mulligans to 6. I think I have to mulligan too. Double City of Trader's Hand is not very good. I have to mulligan this as well. We're flooding out so much, but at the same time, getting mana screwed. Okay, we'll mulligan this. Well, I could keep this. What, we dump Tishana's Tidebinder, play turn 1 Cage and dismember something, draw any land. The Drowner's fine. No, I'm gonna mulligan. We can do better. Like this hand's better. Keep this. Dump. I have to get rid of 2 cards. Vile. Chalice. We go turn 1 Cage. No, hold on. Cancel. Maybe I get rid of Vile Cage. I go turn 1 Chalice. With the attempt on turn 2 Chalice on 2. Because if I go Chalice on 1, turn 1, then Cage is useless. Also, Reanimate is pretty useless when you have a Chalice on 1. We have a lot of Chalices on 1 to play. One of these have got to get through. Now we can still lose to a Murktide. That can still happen. and it would be very sad. Also, having multiple chalices on one are fine too. Oh no. They've got the Murktide. I can smell a Murktide deck from a million miles away. Yeah, I'll go Island, Chalice. We'll play another Chalice on one. Because there's Petty Theft from Brazen Borrower. Just in case one Chalice gets dealt with. What do you want to do with that Wasteland? Oh, you want to get rid of my Ancient Tomb, do you? Slightly rude. I'm just going to play Cavern of Souls, Merfolk, and pass. I would be interested in playing this Chalice on too, although it'd slightly lock me out of the game if they Wasteland my Cavern of Souls. Merfolk? Oh, that was a perfect Merfolk. That was one of the best. Okay, this is... Ooh, no. Okay, there's actually a bit of a okay, I can't cast this Mind Spring yet. Just have to pass. It's okay. And now we're actually in a good spot versus Murktide, because we've got the Flood Pits Drowner for Murktide if it ever resolves. Which would be now. There's 5 cards in the graveyard. Ta-da! Eon 0? Well, that's not good news for me. Or anybody. Hexcatcher, where were you? I needed you earlier. Okay, we're just gonna pass. We do have another Chalice though. We have one more. Maybe at the upkeep we should be playing our Hexcatcher. Because we're going to tap down this Murktide anyway, and I want to play it in such a way that my opponent doesn't get like a really good opportunity to play counter magic. I don't know why they did that now, but I'm grateful because now we can go Chalice on one next turn. And use Flood Pits Drowner to shuffle away the Murktide. And we can play Mind Spring all in one turn. That's great. What a turn. Okay, first let's play Chalice on one. It's back. I kept a hand of just Chalice of the Voids and lands, and it was good enough. Now I'll shuffle away the Murktide after we attacked. And because I've got Cavern of Souls in my hand, we can play that. I have to lose the City of Traders, that's fine. Actually, it's not. Not thrilled about that, because now we have less cards to draw off of our Mind Spring Merfolk. But I still need a second blue source anyway. You know, as an idea, like, I didn't really actually have to get rid of that Murktide. I just sort of assume I need to get rid of that Murktide. I could have just left that thing in play. Okay, I am super vulnerable to a Bowmasters here. Like, super ultra vulnerable. Okay, but they resigned immediately. We won a match! It was against a deck I'm trying to beat! Which is the point. That's why I built the deck. I didn't build my deck for blue-white humans and Boros Jeskai energy and legacy. I'm building this deck for the tier decks. Anyway, that was round 3. Let's get into round 4. We're on the play. We won the die roll. I like our hand. We're going to keep. We can go turn 1 Mind Spring into turn 2 Chalice and maybe protect it with Force of Will, depending on what we're up against. Opponent mulligan down to 5. Okay, we'll play Merfolk. Hand is very vulnerable to Wasteland, unfortunately, but not much we can do about that. Ooh, it's Oops. Well, I wish I knew that. I would have played Chalice earlier. Okay. Our hand should be pretty good versus Oops. Sure. Dark Ritual away. Ender City Informer. I mean, I have no choice. We have to counter it. Toss a Flood Pits Drowner. Keep our Lords. We lose to like Pact Negation probably. Okay, question. Does Chalice on 1, is that meaningful here? I don't remember what beats this deck. I'm just going to very quickly look up. The curve on Oops All Spells, the deck everyone hates to play against. There is a lot of Dark Rituals, Thoughtseize. So honestly, not a whole. Oh no, there's Chromox, Lotus Petal. So there is still a good chunk of sources of mana at 2. Sorry, at 0. So I guess we'll play this on Merfolk, attack for 1. The way I've constructed the mana base, it's actually really hard to get Mind Spring online. Super hard. So I'll play the Chalice on 0. Hits like Chromox. Hits Pact of Negation if that's necessary. Because they still have to like Dread Return, so Hexcatcher is going to be useful on the battlefield here. It's not going to be useless. Well, we've got the 5-turn clock. 5 turns is 5 turns. Although I still need... So any random creatures would be great. That's not a random creature. God, I need random creatures to defeat my opponent's random creatures. Like 1 mana off from playing Balustrade Spy. That is good. That actually is going to be a good card for us. Because even if they combo off, trying to play other cards afterwards, like Dread Return, will be even more impossible. Because they try to do it for free. Okay, so I will play the city. Honestly, not that it really matters. My life total doesn't matter in this game. See, oops, like this is another reason why I have Trinisphere in the main deck, is for matchups like this. Not sure if it's overkill or not, but like oops is a very popular deck. And it's very powerful and it's very strong. This is a very powerful card in this matchup. So we'll attack for 3, and if they have nothing to do at the end of their turn, we'll just flash in Tishana's Tidebinder and win. Okay, we won the game. I guess Cage is good. I guess Null Rod is fine too. How much artifact mana do they have in these decks? Chrome Mox, Lotus Petal. Not that much, to be honest. Okay, maybe I won't bring in Null Rod. I'll still play with Chalice, though. Maybe one less, because it's just going to be on 0. Dismember is borderline useless. Force Negation is fine, because you can counter a Ritual. Or counter, like, Pact of Negation, if necessary. I have to take 4 cards out. I have to take 4 cards out. Don't really want to take out anything. Am I overrating Chalice of the Void here? Am I overrating Chalice of the Void here? What's in their sideboard? Dread Return, Force of Vigor, Charbelcher. Oh, you want to Charbelcher me, huh? Well, if they go for the Charbelcher plan, then Null Rod gets way better. I don't know what to do. I could take out some creatures. We'll take out some Aether Vials. Maybe we'll bring in some Null Rods. But that just brings me up to 64. Okay, what creature is useless here? Flood Pit seems pretty bad. I can't have too much interaction. I just can't. Take out Aether Vial. I have what? 22-ish lands? That's fine. Yeah, I can take out the Aether Vials. Turn 1, I'm probably going to want to play Grafdigger's Cage anyway. And I guess we'll take out another Flood Pit Strandr, I guess. Or maybe another Chalice. I want to have 23 creatures in the deck. Hand's terrible. Well, the hand might be okay, but on the draw, I think this is a bit too weak. I just have a simple Force of Will, which is like, it's okay. Turn 1, do nothing. No, it's very, very slow. Hand is... Now that I have like an opposite problem, like if my opponent goes for it turn 1, I'm dead. Okay, I'm gonna mulligan one more time. It's like, it's an okay hand. If I could even pull off turn 2 Trinosphere, or if I had any interaction on turn 1, that would be fine. This is a very dangerous deck. I will... Well, anyway, this is actually the worst of all the hands, but I'm gonna keep it. I guess we're gonna get rid of Silvergill Adept, and maybe the Null Rod. Yeah, I think we're gonna get we're gonna get rid of Silvergill Adept and the Null Rod, because we have Mindspring, Mindspring Merfolk into Hexcatcher into Tishana's Tidebinder. And we just hope we don't get turned 1'd. I have to hope we don't get turn 1'd. Or turn 2'd. Vulnerable to both. Cabal Therapy. They will never guess what we have in our hand. Maybe we should have thought about it for a second and then let it resolve, so that like they think that we thought about Force of Will, because I let it resolve really fast. But anyway, Force of Will is still too important to them, so they guessed it anyway to clear the way for turn 2. Cavern of Souls, Merfolk. So they know we can interact with them by turn 2 with Tishana's Tidebinder. So they sort of have to go for it here. Shocking. Dark Ritual. Balustrade Spy? Yep. Okay, how do you do sideboard? Show me. Show me your sideboard. Show me your deck. Okay, so they... Lotus Petal. They did bring in the forces, the green force. Did not bring in Charbelcher. Where are these zombie tokens? Oh, they have a bridge from below in the graveyard. Looks like they just brought in the Force of Vigor, which is fine. So we can side out Null Rod, bring Chalice back in just for 0. And we can continue to not play with Aether Vial. And I assume they've got Dread Return? Yeah, they have Dread Return. You gonna go for it? Do you have Thassa's Oracle? Yeah, you have Dread Return, Thassa's Oracle. Win? Yeah. Okay, Null Rod no good. Chalice better. I guess another Chalice is better too. Sure. Submit. This hand's very awkward. But it's like okay. It's okay. I think I'm going to keep this. I can put some pressure on the battlefield with Flood Pits and hold up Tishana's Tidebinder. We have one counter spell. Depending on how many more cards we draw, maybe we'll have more counter spells. Play Ottawa and pass. I'm gonna let this resolve. They'll name Force of Will. They'll take it. I think I'm fine with that. This Force of Negation can still hit their, like, a ritual. And Tishana's Tidebinder can still interact with their deck. Lorien revealed. I guess I can play. Actually, I don't even need to play that. That can be used to pitch to Force Negation. Can they pay life with this? Okay, Lotus Petal is going to resolve. Not that I like that it resolves. Yeah, we'll keep Lorien revealed in our hand. Ooh, another Tishana's Timer. That's actually great. Because I can just randomly throw that on the battlefield to beat my opponent down. Okay, let's assemble a clock. Reejerey is fine-ish. Not really in a position to tap out or anything. Just attack for 5. Is our opponent even close to comboing off? They're like really taking their sweet time here. Interesting. Oh, I guess they're just not set up to combo at all. I have to admit, you know, as much as I like Sidious Traders, it's also like super annoying sometimes. Maybe the correct number is 6 in this type of deck, but then I have to like bring down the number of 3-drops I probably play, including Trinisphere. All right, we won the match. We won a second match, and against a deck that I was prepared to beat, with more or less normal cards. Now, I don't know, like, we don't know what's in their hand. For example, They might have been able to combo off turn two, but because we had Tishana's Tidebinder up turn two, and they knew about the Tishana's Tidebinder because of Cabal Therapy, they couldn't combo, and so they were waiting for another piece of interaction, another Cabal Therapy, another like maybe a Pact of Negation or something, or something like that. But we had all the interaction and enough power to. Oh no, I think they would have went for it. Okay, so they just didn't have anything because we put a Tishana's Tidebinder on the battlefield. They don't know about the second one, so they just couldn't combo off this turn. All right, that was round 4. Let's move on to round 5. Round 5, we won the die roll, but our hand can't cast anything. A mulligan. This hand can cast stuff, so we're gonna keep it. And I guess pitch maybe the Tishana's Tidebinder. Because I can't cast it yet. If I get wastelanded, that's not going to be good either. Merfolk. And just pass. Hopefully set up a turn 2 Chalice on 1. Helps a lot if I know what my opponent's on. I have no idea what my opponent's on. I guess Cephalid Breakfast? This is a Cephalid Breakfast-like card. I don't know many Tundra decks right now. Or I guess there's that, what's it called? The energy deck that we played against earlier. Okay, I have to go get a land here. I might hold off on this Chalice. I might just play like Silvergill Adept, so I can play Chalice on 1 without it getting disrupted by days. Okay, let's say they have days. Is that even such a big deal? Probably not. Ugh, but it's so annoying. Okay, forget it. I want this stupid thing to resolve. Let's go get another land. And I get another Hex Catcher, which is not terrible, but is not great either. We could be up against a control deck, which in that case, Chalice on 1 is like fine-ish. It's not that great. They're way more diversified in how they play their deck and the mana curve. Okay, it's breakfast. It's the Cephalids of breakfasts. Trinisphere. Can't remember that. It's not good if Nadu is on the battlefield. Okay, let's attack for 2. Probably the plan is attack for 2, play Hexcatcher at the end of my opponent's turn, and then attempt to play a Chalice of the Void. My opponent doesn't want to do anything this turn. Another Urza Saga? Okay, that's a problem. Stock up. Okay, no, okay, maybe I don't know what this deck is. Look at the top 5 cards of your library, put 2 of them into your hand, the rest on the bottom. Let's counter that. Or actually, do I care? Top 5, put 2 of them into your hand. You have to discard to hand size. Sure, discard to hand size. I think I'm just going to attempt to be aggro here. While I can, I should say. I can only assume my opponent is ready to go to war on the combo turn. Damn. If we could get Trinisphere in play, that'd probably be pretty strong. Especially since they can only play like one spell that turn. So what? Okay, what are my options here? Probably Lorien Reveal, get land, play another Hexcatcher, save this Silver Adept for Force of Will. It's probably a plan. I'm only going to attack for 4 here, though. I'm not as intense on trying to get this Chalice on 1 in play because my opponent can... Like, the cards that are going to matter right now, they're going to be cards like Force of Will, Daze, Cephalid Illusionist, maybe Nadu. A lot of cards that are not 1 mana. Maybe even Teferi. Probably not. I assume that they're just going to go for the kill next turn. Opponent stuck. Okay, they got unstuck. Search in my deck. Search in my deck. Something I don't do very much with Merfolk. And pass. And so it's important to... So you might be wondering, why didn't I play Hexcatcher? Because if we have a counter war and they play Daze, I want to be able to easily counter that. Or I don't even want to give them even the idea that they are allowed to play, that they can even play Daze. Sure. It's a funny move. Because you can't make a construct token here. Oh, but you get to draw a bunch of cards and then shuffle them away with Urza Saga. Interesting, interesting. Very interesting. They got Lotus Petal. Interesting. Even more interesting. So they'll have more mana than I think they do. So they can play a land, have 4 mana up. But then they don't have Shuko. Torp, creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger. What the hell is this deck? Creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger. Sure. I wonder if our opponent could just kill us with Saga tokens at this point. Okay, this can't be what I think it is. This is just some completely different deck. This is just mono blue does stuff deck. Oh, Phyrexian Dreadnought. Well, that's good with Chalice of the Void, that's for sure. Okay, let's start spinning our cards like we're supposed to. Let's force it. I'm gonna swords my Hexcatcher. It is swordsed. Force of Will on my Force of Will. Well, I've got a backup Hex Catcher. Reinforcements are on the way. Although I don't know what to do about this Hex Catcher on the battlefield. Okay, let's counter your Force of Will. I'm gonna die to this Urza Saga. Cute. Okay, we'll play Chalice on 1. Which turns out would have been a lot better a long time ago. And play Mindspring Merfolk. With our Cavern of Souls. So now I don't have to worry about future Dreadnoughts. I just have to worry about this damn Urza Saga. It makes 1 construct, gets I mean, I don't know if they play a Shadow Spear in this deck. I just don't even know what's in this deck. They're floating mana. They could add a construct army the entire time. Oh, they got the Phyrexian Dreadnought. But you could add Phyrexian Dreadnought and the construct army. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That's cool. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, we can draw one card so far with our Mindspring. Shall we draw some more? Another thing that we can do. Well, probably should draw the cards now. So if I draw well, I have to draw exactly Cavern of Souls. What am I hoping to draw here? Yeah, let's just draw. If we get a land, that's going to be super important. I can take a hit from the stupid Dreadnought, and I can make some blockers over the next few turns. That was terrible. That was a bad draw. It was a very, very, very bad draw. I don't like that draw. Trash. It's like, what do I gotta do? Counter. So this deck has Stifles. Probably has Dress Down too. They played their Otawara. That's creepy. It's very creepy. Because they could use that to bounce something. Maybe they have no other land drop for the turn. You gotta be playing a 4-drop, right? Oh, they want to play Stock Up, sure. Stock it up. I want to get around my Hex Catcher. Best draw next turn might be like a Hex Catcher, just so I can bash in for something like 7 damage, put our opponent in a situation where they would really regret attacking. I assume the removal's offline. I bet, okay, they took a long time with their stock up. Can I get a Lord here? It's not a Lord at all. That's not a Lord at all. Attack for 5. I think I have to attack for 2, save this Mindspring to block, and then I have to use a future Mindspring to like block and draw cards. Because I can attack for 5, chump, but oh, maybe that still works. No, it doesn't. Okay, I attack for 5, they go to 6, I play Mindspring, I chump. Next turn, I attack for 3, put them down to 3. They attack, I chump, but then I'm only attacking for 2. So I need to draw some creature in between then to make this plan make any sense. But it's like okay. Because so long as I keep drawing chump blockers, it works. Whereas if I just attack for 2 and chump block with this, I think more things can go wrong. I think. I'm not sure. I'm not certain. I think they have Force of Will in their hand because they had like a long stock up decision, and I thought it would be just easy, just get rid of, um, ooh, Null Drifter. That's not good for me. Good Evoke. Oh, but they have Torp Orb. I see. We have to counter that Torp Orb next time. Okay, so I have to chump block this Dreadnought. We got time. We got time. We don't have a lot of time, but we got time. Oh, does it have Trample? Okay, I missed that. Okay, so if anyone was confused by my analysis, yeah, I just didn't know it had Trample. This is my first time playing against Dreadnought. Okay, so we do want Wasteland for the... we're gonna want Wasteland for all their stupid... For the Urza Saga specifically. Is Cage good? No. Nullrod good? No. Dismember good? Maybe. For the Null Drifter? That's bad value. I think I just have to Force of Will that thing. Or Tishana's Tidebinder it. Trinisphere looks very poor. Like, well, Trinisphere is probably okay, but I think they could live. They could live with this. Cards I don't want. Flood Pits is great. Silvergill Adept is great. I think a lot of these cards are great. I'll just trim on Chalice. Looked great. Maybe I'm overrating Chalice. Okay, they have to have Ponder, Brainstorm, Stifle. Maybe that's it. Man, what a league. 3. I mean, I think Stifle Knot is like a little bit of a deck, but not really. It's still on the fringe ends. Stifle Knot plays Tameo. Ponder, Brainstorm, Stifle, Swords to Plowshares. It's got a lot of 1-drops, but it also has a lot of stuff that I can just ignore. Well, if they have Tameo, should I bring in Dismember? I think we can live without it. Maybe I can just live without Force of Will. What's the worst thing that's going to happen to me here? Okay, bring in Dismember. How many lands do I have? I have like 4 Wastelands in this deck. Okay, let's take out City of Traders. I actually need a better plan for... Like a better sideboard plan overall. Oh, wait a minute. They might bring in Pyroblast. We didn't see... Oh, there's so many 3-drops and stuff. They also have Prismatic Ending. Chalice on 1 is just so much weaker. Okay. I'm going to bring City of Traders back. They have Daze and Force of Will. Ah! Okay, I just have to go with the plan, and that's it. I'm running out of time on my sideboarding. Good enough. Keep. Oh, actually, I should do this immediately, because if they could stifle my island cycling. Forgot about that. Okay, we did not get stifled. Not punished. Probably do nothing here. Probably do nothing here. Sidebar is very cute. Okay, we'll play a Chalice first before we do anything. Because if I play stuff early and they start Pyroblasting stuff, that would really suck. So this puts my opponent in like a Force of Will or Bust situation. They opt to do none of those things. They may not need to. Maybe they have Prismatic Ending in their hand. Wasteland Proof. Super Wasteland Proof. Dress down. Yes. That might be just like a desperate... Oh no, they could play a Null Drifter. That might be the idea. Which is fine. We can dismember that on our turn. A lot of card advantage in this deck. Crazy card advantage. Okay, goodbye, dress down. Bye-bye. So long. Get out of here. Get. I got a Wasteland, but we have to save that. Do they play with Wasteland? I see. Oh, no, yeah, they do play with Wasteland, so I can't play Wasteland. And we're just going to pass. Wasteland has to be safe for Urza Saga, because that card can just technically win by itself. Also, it gets the Stifle Knot. Oh... Ugh, I hate playing cards into Daze. But if they play Daze, they have to put a card in their hand, which that means they go to 7. They still have to discard 2 cards for the turn. Okay, that worked. Okay, they don't have Daze. They don't have anything. Okay, screw it. We're gonna get out of this. Just so that my opponent just doesn't find the thing that they're looking for, if they're looking for something specific. Redray. Do you have Daze? You have Force of Will. Okay. They're thinking about it. I don't want to force that thing. They discarded a Lava Spur Boots. This Chalice is paying for itself. Let's start with... It's funny if I play Silver Gill Adept, it might encourage them to play a Dress Down or something. Let's talk for 2. Cancel. No, I'll play the silver. Ugh. I honestly don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Okay, let's untap a land. I'm like they don't have Daze in hand, otherwise they would have shown it to us a long time ago. Okay, dress down, no dress down in hand. Draw a card, Force of Will. Do I play Wasteland? Just put a big board on the battlefield? Because it looks like this game is going to be over soon. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have untapped Wasteland, so that if they play Wasteland on my Wasteland, I can go after their Tundra, and it's like... it's a huge beating. Okay, now they're playing Dress Down. That's like a turn too late. Untap land, sure. Because I can't do anything with this blue mana, but I could do something with this mana. They wanted to deprive me of, like, going off this one turn. I have, what, 14 power in play? Okay, there's the Urza Saga. Just borderline useless at this moment. Torpor Orb. Sure. Just playing their cards now. Dress down. Sure. Let's just destroy this land while we're at it. Not that it matters. So I'll attack for 6 this turn instead of what I was planning. Get another wasteland. Which I think I'm just going to use immediately. And we took that game down. Okay, do I want to change anything? The wasteland was super important there. That was big. That was big game. Force of Will was not really impressed, but whatever, did its job. I guess this is the sideboarding. Wasteland for City of Traders. Maybe that's just how it has to be. Just play a little slow. We don't need to be super fast. Although I have to say, like, Chalice on 1 probably won us that game. Yeah, probably we still should side out some 2 Ether Vials to side in our, side out 2 Ether Vials to side back into City of Traders. Something I haven't done with this deck yet is I haven't tested 2 City of Traders. But I'm just very paranoid that having so few solar lands in my deck would completely diminish or make worthless all my other synergy that I have in the deck. Like, it gets rid of a lot of the turn 2 Chalice of the Voids and so on. We'll keep this. We have Chalice on 1 with Force backup. And I think I'm going to not play this Mindspring Merfolk. I'm going to keep it for Force of Will food. And again, like, I don't want to give my opponent any opportunity to use their 1-drops. This is funny, very funny. So they can go end of turn, dress down. I probably should go for it here. Even though this probably is going to get nailed by some sort of counter magic. Like if they hard cast, for example, if they hard cast Daze, sure, fine. Wow, resolves again. Lucky us. Active abilities of artifacts. Okay, activated abilities of artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers can't be activated. Do I even care? I care for Mindspring Merfolk. Everything's a triggered ability, though. Activated abilities of artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers. Yeah, I don't care about that card. Not anymore, anyhow. Okay, let's draw some cards. Or maybe not. Maybe we hold up Tashawn's Tidebinder. No, let's draw some cards. I guess I'll show Mindspring Merfolk because I can play that immediately with the Cavernous Souls, which I'm drawing more of. And we can toss away Lorien Revealed. to force a will if necessary. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll toss Tishana's Tidebinder. Because I need a second blue source to activate Mindspring Merfolk's ability. That is nice. That is very sweet. Another Merfolk. Okay, let's play our Regery. I have a feeling this Chalice is doing a lot of work for us in this game. Just a feeling. Dress down? Sure, it's fine. Still hit for 3. Still a lot of damage coming in the future. Maybe stock up here? Okay, get a hit for 3. Another one of these things. It's sort of annoying, to be honest. Oh, I can't activate this card, so it's worthless anyway. Okay, so the Lorien Revealed is worthless anyway. Okay, so I'll try to counter this. And if it, like, gets forced back, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Silver Gilladept. Let's attack for a good chunk. Or maybe I should have played Silver Gilladept first. Okay, we're gonna show our Tishana's Tidebinder. Now we get to untap a land with our Regery. That's why I said we should probably draw a card first. Maybe it changes how we attack. That card doesn't change anything, though. Ancient Tomb doesn't look like it changes much for our opponent either. Torpor Orb, sure. So now they can comfortably play, I guess, what's it called? That Eldrazi card. Okay, so we'll end of turn, just Tishana's Tidebinder. Cast trigger on the stack. Doesn't stop my cast triggers. Tap this thing. And attack for the win. It is a lot of damage. Even Dress Down isn't going to work here because we do have Tishana's Tidebinder. Yeah, Swords doesn't work. Oh, they're going to show us all the 1-drops they have in their hand? Alright, we got 3-2. It wasn't bad. It was not a bad 3-2 at all. Makes me wonder, do I so desperately need the City of Traders? Because we won that last... I would have to look over the footage to see how important City of Traders was. Okay, Trinisphere was great. It did help us win a game. I don't know how if it's gonna win us a billion games in the future, but it did help. But maybe not mandatory. But Chalice of the Void definitely worked. And being able to cast... we're gonna have to just play test more. I just have to play test more. I really liked how that league went. We lost only to 2 brews, and also maybe I could play better if I know what I'm up against. I also don't think I drew particularly well against the Boros deck post board. Great start, terrible finish. I like what I'm looking at here. I don't know if the sideboard is perfect. It'd be interesting if City of Traders is not the perfect card and Wasteland is the perfect card. That would open up more cards on the sideboard for us. Anyway, if you liked the video, give the thumbs up. I hope you stayed to the end, because I lost the first 2 games but won the last 3. This has been Nikachu, Merfolk Master, playing Legacy Merfolk in Legacy.